incident, so I should just point out, involving one of today's pictures that you'll be seeing again and again. Here's the picture, now pretty famous, of her tears, grimacing and all, raw emotion. Now here's the coincidence. The same photographer who took this picture in Vietnam. Raw emotion. The photographer's name is Nick and one more coincidence. This picture in Vietnam was taken exactly 35 years ago today, June 8th.
Bonaducci first. Danny, I know you're a big Paris fan. You must be shell-shocked that this has happened to such a fine, upstanding citizen.
Believe it or not, I actually am shocked at the way she's being treated. As I think I've made it perfectly clear, I have nothing but disdain for Paris Hilton. I've referred to her as patient zero, who has infected young Hollywood with Lindsay Lohan and Nicole, Rickie, whoever they are, the four horsewomen of the apocalypse. But I'll tell you this, and have I made it clear I don't like this woman?
I think we get the point, yeah.
Okay. What they've gone too far. You can't, in my opinion, it's cruel and inhuman punishment that they have, inhumane punishment. They've arrested her, they've tried her, they've convicted her. The process to get into jail is a big drag. They get her into jail. Then they drop her sentence in half. Then they drop her to 3 days. Then they kick her loose. Okay, that's it. Call this poor kid back up and say, you know what? We were wrong. We want you back. Come back. You know what? It was driving on a suspended license. Let's not bury this. Because some official, I'm going to go on a food chain if I can, I think, some cop with a key to the cage came and unlocked her and said, Miss Hilton, you can go. Then they processed her out. So when you say she's an example, really, what is she example of? How completely screwed up our system is. Garcia, the young lady from Lost, was sentenced to 60 days. The young lady from Lost was sentenced for 60 days in jail. You know how much time she served? 2 hours. And nobody said a thing because she's not that famous.
Just because she's famous, she shouldn't get reprimanded for that. They shouldn't make an example of her just because she's famous. She should get fair treatment just like everybody else. And they were saying that, sheriff came out and said, yes, she's getting special treatment. She's actually getting harsher treatment. And that's also not fair. And, I can take Paris, I can leave Paris, but honestly, she's not being...
I really worry. Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, Paris Hilton. Are we going to wake up one day between the drugs and the drunken driving? Is one of these kids going to end up dead?
Well, first of all, it's very kind of you to be concerned about my life, and you're right. The way I was living, I was absolutely headed towards a rapid death. As a matter of fact, not only do I believe that one of the three women that you mentioned will die, I believe it's Lindsay Lohan. I believe she's headed right to an early grave. You can tell I believe that Britney Spears is a troubled young woman that went to the top too fast. Your standard, I was young and I was so famous and life is hard and I shaved my head. I think Lindsay Lohan's a real live, not kidding around, die-hard drunk. But I think Paris Hilton's just a pain in my butt, and I don't understand all this attention to it.
A little bit about, your friend Paris is in prison now, and have you talked to her since she went away?
No, I haven't spoken to her.
Yeah. Did you talk to her before she went in?
Yeah.
And how was she feeling before she went away?
Just like anyone would feel before they were going to go to jail.
You had some legal troubles of your own, didn't you?
Yes.
Those have not entirely been resolved, have they?
No, they haven't.
I don't know the details of your problems, but is prison a likelihood, or is it? Am I?
Yeah.
Really?
But I'll tell you what, when the judge says 90 days, boom, shaking, you don't have to be coming down off of anything. You have to worry about the showers, and that's for real. Like I said, I don't care about the woman, but her shaking is not necessarily drug-induced. It's real scary when the judge says you're going to jail.
And she's been in jail. If someone is not really a person of the world, as perhaps Paris Hilton's been sheltered her entire life, suddenly she's thrown into this, how scary is it?
There is nothing more frightening that I can think of, and I'm a fairly big, strong man. And the whole process is frightening because nobody wants to hear from you. When I was convicted of, in my opinion, the worst part was going over 100 miles an hour while incredibly intoxicated. I personally think I should have gone to jail. I think my sentence should have been much more severe, to be honest with you. But I will tell you the most bizarre thing is, nobody wants to talk to you. The first thing your lawyer says is, be quiet. The second you do what your lawyer says, the judge doesn't even look at you. You're the least important thing in the room, and you already know your future is in the hands of people who won't even speak to you. And when they process you and they fingerprint you and then they handcuff you to another guy, or in her case, another girl. I was handcuffed to a guy unconscious and covered with blood. That was before I was even processed into jail. It's a scary proposition.
I really think she's getting a bum rap. We support her no matter what happens.
We just hope that Paris gets treated like everybody else in America would be treated in the same situation.
I wish you well, hope everything goes well, but don't let the man get you down. Just do your time and don't look back. All right, peace out.
June 29th.
What's going on, right? No.
The only film they don't want you to see.
With 4 healthcare lobbyists for every member of Congress. Here's what it costs to buy these men.
Is the one movie.
There was one place on American soil that had free universal health care.
Which way to Guantanamo Bay?
You can't afford to miss.
I free 9/11 rescue workers. They need some medical attention. We don't want any more than you're giving Al-Qaeda.
Michael Moore's Sicko. Rated PG-13 in theaters.